Greetings. The legend begins. For thousands of years, one name has continued to capture the human imagination. Atlantis, a mysterious island civilization described as extraordinarily powerful, wealthy, and advanced. According to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis existed beyond the Pillars of Hercules, generally associated with the Strait of Gibraltar. Plato described a powerful society with impressive architecture, fertile lands, waterways, armies, and enormous wealth. But there was a problem. Plato was the only major ancient writer to provide the detailed story that became famous. He claimed that Atlantis eventually became corrupt and was destroyed by catastrophic natural events. According to his account, the civilization disappeared beneath the sea. But was Plato describing a real place? Or was Atlantis created as a philosophical story? That question has remained unanswered for more than 2,000 years. The story of Atlantis. Plato discussed Atlantis in two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. In the story, Atlantis was an enormous island beyond the Pillars of Hercules. Its people were powerful and wealthy. The island was organized around a central city containing enormous structures, canals, temples, and defensive walls. At the center stood a temple dedicated to Poseidon. The city was surrounded by circular rings of land and water. Plato's description was incredibly detailed. There were waterways connecting different parts of the island. There were agricultural areas. There were military forces. There were massive buildings. And there was a powerful ruling class. But Plato's story wasn't simply about architecture. It was also about morality. According to the narrative, Atlantis became increasingly ambitious and corrupt. Eventually, the Atlanteans attempted to conquer other civilizations. Athens resisted. Plato presented Athens as an example of an ideal society. Atlantis represented the dangers of excessive power. That detail is extremely important when trying to understand what Plato may have intended. A civilization ahead of its time. Modern stories often describe Atlantis as technologically advanced. Some theories portray Atlanteans as possessing electricity, advanced machines, flying vehicles, or even technology beyond modern civilization. But there is no reliable archaeological evidence supporting these claims. Plato never described computers, electricity, spacecraft, or futuristic technology. His description was advanced for its supposed ancient setting, but it does not prove that Atlantis possessed technology beyond its era. The idea of a super-advanced Atlantis largely developed through later interpretations, books, films, television programs, and popular culture. This distinction matters. There is the Atlantis described by Plato, and there is the Atlantis created by modern imagination. They are not necessarily the same thing. The power and prosperity. According to Plato's story, Atlantis was extraordinarily wealthy. Its natural environment was productive. The island supposedly contained valuable resources and supported large populations. The city itself was carefully organized. Water channels surrounded sections of the city. Bridges connected different areas. Ships could move through the waterways. Large walls protected the central districts. To ancient readers, this would have represented enormous power and organization. But Plato's description may have been designed to create an idealized contrast between different forms of government and society. Rather than being a historical report, Atlantis may have functioned as a philosophical thought experiment. The question therefore becomes, was Plato recording history? Or was he using an imaginary civilization to teach a lesson? The warning signs. The story of Atlantis contains a familiar pattern. A powerful civilization becomes increasingly ambitious. Its wealth grows. Its military power grows. Its leaders become less concerned with morality. Eventually, its behavior becomes destructive. Plato describes the Atlanteans as becoming increasingly corrupt. Their original virtues disappear. Their desire for power becomes more important than wisdom. This is where Atlantis becomes more than a mysterious lost city. It becomes a warning. Throughout history, civilizations have risen and fallen. Empires have expanded. Governments have collapsed. Cities have been destroyed. Plato may have used Atlantis to explore a simple question. What happens when a powerful society loses control of its ambitions? The day of destruction. According to Plato's account, Atlantis eventually faced catastrophic destruction. The island was affected by earthquakes and floods. The civilization disappeared. The story says the destruction happened in a relatively short period. but there is no archaeological evidence proving that a city matching Plato's Atlantis was destroyed exactly as he described. That does not mean ancient civilizations never suffered catastrophic disasters. They certainly did. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, floods, and rising sea levels have destroyed settlements throughout history. The real question is whether one of these disasters inspired the Atlantis story. That possibility has attracted researchers for generations. What really happened? One of the most important questions is whether Plato invented Atlantis. Some scholars believe the story was primarily fictional and philosophical. Others have suggested that Plato may have incorporated memories of real ancient disasters into the narrative. This is where the mystery becomes complicated. A fictional story can still contain real historical inspiration. Ancient writers often used real places, historical events, and cultural memories when constructing stories. Perhaps Atlantis was completely imaginary. Perhaps it was inspired by several civilizations. Or perhaps an ancient disaster influenced the story. There is currently no conclusive evidence proving that Plato's Atlantis existed as described. The disappearance. If Atlantis was real, where could it have gone? This question has produced hundreds of theories. Some researchers have proposed locations in the Atlantic Ocean. Others have suggested the Mediterranean. Some theories point toward islands near Greece. Others have placed Atlantis near Spain, Morocco, Antarctica, or even the Americas. But a major challenge remains. An island civilization large enough to match Plato's description should theoretically leave substantial archaeological evidence. Buildings, pottery, tools, roads, burial sites, agricultural remains, writing, trade goods, something. So far, no archaeological discovery has been universally accepted as the remains of Plato's Atlantis. Ancient clues and evidence. One of the strongest real-world candidates connected to the Atlantis legend is the Minoan civilization. The Minoans lived on Crete and nearby islands thousands of years ago. They developed impressive cities, trade networks, art, writing systems, and large architectural complexes. They were one of the most sophisticated civilizations of the ancient Mediterranean. Then a massive volcanic eruption occurred on the island of Thera, now known as Santorini. The eruption was enormous. It produced huge amounts of ash and caused major environmental disruption. The eruption may also have generated tsunamis. Some researchers have suggested that memories of this catastrophe could have influenced later stories about a powerful civilization destroyed by natural forces. But there is a problem. The timing does not perfectly match Plato's chronology, and the Minoan civilization was not located beyond the Pillars of Hercules. So the Minoan theory is fascinating, but it is not proof of Atlantis. The search for Atlantis. For centuries, explorers and researchers have searched for evidence. Underwater archaeology has transformed our ability to investigate ancient coastlines. Modern sonar can map the seafloor. Submersibles can explore deep underwater environments. Satellite technology can identify unusual geological formations. Archaeologists can examine submerged settlements. And marine scientists can reconstruct ancient environments. Yet despite these advances, no discovery has produced universally accepted evidence of Atlantis. This hasn't stopped the search. Every few years, a new theory appears. A new underwater structure is discovered. A new geological formation attracts attention. A new interpretation of ancient texts creates excitement. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. A strange underwater formation is not automatically a lost city. And a mysterious ruin is not automatically Atlantis. The theories. Over the centuries, Atlantis has been placed almost everywhere. Some theories locate it in the Atlantic Ocean. Others suggest the island may have been near the Mediterranean. Some theories connect Atlantis to Santorini. Others propose locations near Spain. There have even been claims connecting Atlantis to places as distant as Antarctica. Many of these theories rely on unusual interpretations of geography, ancient texts, or geological evidence. The problem is that they often contradict one another. If Atlantis was in the Atlantic, it cannot simultaneously have been in the Mediterranean. If Plato's measurements are interpreted literally, some locations become difficult to explain. If his story is treated symbolically, almost any location can be proposed. That is one reason the mystery has survived for so long. There is enough ambiguity for new theories to keep appearing. Atlantis in modern culture. Atlantis became much more than an ancient philosophical story. Books transformed it into a lost civilization. Films turned it into an underwater kingdom. Television shows portrayed Atlanteans as technologically advanced. Video games created entire fictional worlds around the legend. The internet made the mystery even larger. Now anyone can publish a theory claiming to have found Atlantis. This has created a strange situation. The fictional version of Atlantis is often more famous than Plato's original description. Many people imagine glowing crystals, futuristic machines, underwater cities, and advanced technology. But those elements largely come from modern storytelling. The real historical mystery is much more complicated, and perhaps more interesting. What science says. Modern science has not confirmed the existence of Atlantis. There is currently no accepted archaeological evidence showing that Plato's Atlantis existed as a vast lost civilization. That does not mean scientists believe ancient civilizations could never disappear. Quite the opposite. Archaeology has shown that real settlements have been buried, abandoned, flooded, destroyed, or forgotten. Coastlines have changed. Sea levels have risen. Volcanoes have erupted. Earthquakes have destroyed cities. Tsunamis have transformed coastlines. Entire cultures have disappeared or been absorbed into other societies. So the idea of a lost civilization is scientifically possible. But the specific Atlantis described by Plato remains unverified. Could Atlantis exist today? Could an ancient city still be hidden beneath the ocean? In some cases, yes. Archaeologists have already discovered submerged ancient settlements around the world. As sea levels changed after the last ice age, some coastal areas were flooded. Other settlements were destroyed by earthquakes or tsunamis. Underwater archaeology continues to reveal unexpected discoveries. But discovering an ancient settlement does not automatically prove Atlantis existed. To establish a connection, researchers would need strong evidence. They would need to identify the location, date the site, study its architecture, analyze artifacts, understand its culture, and compare those findings with Plato's description. Until such evidence appears, Atlantis remains a mystery rather than an established historical fact. The mystery remains. After more than 2,000 years, the story of Atlantis continues to survive. Maybe Plato created Atlantis as a philosophical warning. Maybe ancient disasters inspired parts of the story. Maybe memories of lost civilizations were passed through generations and eventually transformed into legend. Or perhaps future archaeology will uncover something that changes our understanding completely. For now, the evidence does not prove that Plato's Atlantis existed, but the search itself tells us something important about humanity. We are fascinated by what has been lost. We search beneath oceans. We study ancient texts. We explore ruins. We examine the smallest fragments of evidence. Because somewhere beneath the myths and stories, there may be pieces of real history waiting to be discovered. Atlantis may never be found, but the mystery has already achieved something extraordinary. It has kept people looking toward the unknown for more than 2,000 years. And perhaps that is why Atlantis remains the world's greatest lost city mystery.